So John Cena ended up joining Nexus. I can't remember exactly how we got there, but he had to join Nexus. And part of the thing about Nexus was we were an army. We all wore the same uniform. We had the yellow N and what is an incredibly basic, simple T-shirt that normally shouldn't be popular. Looks so imposing because you had an army of people, almost like drones, wearing the same top. So for John Cena to have joined Nexus and not wear our shirt, there was something not right, and viewers pick up on that, and it doesn't help the storyline when you have something that doesn't make sense like that and not explained. So here's why that happened. So obviously we wanted John to wear the T-shirt for storyline purposes. Now, your standard WWE contract, and when I talk about standard contract, I'm talking about 90% of the wrestlers that you see on TV. You get a merchandising deal within the contract, and every T-shirt that is sold that has my likeness on there or my name or Bad News Barrett, whatever it is, I get 5% of the proceeds from the sale of that shirt. So let's say you paid £20 for that shirt. I would get £1 of that coming to me. £19 will go to WWE to go for their manufacturing or their marketing and their profits and that kind of thing. So I would get just 5%. Now, someone like John Cena or someone who's higher up on the roster, they have a bit more leverage because of the amount of shirts they sell or the amount of time they've been there. They get to negotiate contracts where they get a much higher percentage than 5%. So I don't know what John's was. Let's speculate and say he got 30% of all his T-shirts that he sold. So he's already getting a higher percentage than we are on the Nexus shirts. Now, the problem with our Nexus shirts, that 5% wasn't going to me. That 5% was then getting split 7 ways between all of the guys within the Nexus. So rather than me getting £1 for every Nexus shirt that is sold, it's now getting cut down to 12 or 13 pence for every Nexus shirt that's sold. It's going to me, that's going to Tarver, that's going to David Otunga, that's going to Gabriel Slayer, everyone else on the Nexus. Now, if John was to suddenly stop wearing his shirts, not only would people not be buying his shirts, but people would also start buying the Nexus one who want to support John Cena. And John wouldn't be getting a 30% cut. He'd have to split whatever cut he gets with 7 other wrestlers, so he's essentially getting only 1/8 of the cut for each shirt. So it was a merchandising money thing, and nothing could ever be figured out about it, and that is the reason why John was never wearing a Nexus shirt. It was purely a money thing. So, and I would like to point out, I've never heard that story from John, but people within the merchandising team explained how it had happened to me and why that was happening. So that's my understanding of why John never wore the Nexus shirt.
In fact, it wouldn't be until decades later that a betrayal in WWE was able to